A particle is projected down an inclined plane with initial velocity. Sorry, it's projected down. That's weird. It's projected down the inclined plane, but it's clearly shot upwards at 20. Okay, at a 90-degree angle. Okay, that means there's no x component. It's all y. So the start, if you imagine that's your slope, you're getting thrown up at 20, but you're actually giving it nothing. There's nothing to the left. Okay. Now, the line of projection makes an angle of 90 degrees with the inclined plane and is inclined to alpha to the horizontal. That's no bother. So what do we reckon here? Yeah, g sine alpha and g cos alpha, yeah. G sin alpha. The plane projection is vertical against the line of the slope. The particle strikes the plane at Q. That's we know the range. So that to me means sy equals 0, sub into sx, and figure out what to do from there. Right. Do what you always do, make your four equations. So phi x is going to equal 0. There's no component there. Plus gt sine alpha. Phi y is 20 minus gt cos alpha. Sx 0 plus a half gt squared sine alpha, and then sy equals 20t minus a half gt squared cos alpha. Go. Alrighty, and right, sx equals 0, or sorry, sy equals 0, then find out what the time of flight is. Right, let's do that. We're going to get 20t equals a half gt squared cos alpha, and then we are going to cancel the t. We're going to get 40 over g cos alpha is our time of flight. There we go with that. And insert that to sx, and sx will be a half g. I'm going to square it before I put it in. So 40 squared is 1,600, and that's going to be g squared cos squared alpha. And then over here is a sin alpha, isn't it? Okay. And what does it say that equals? Yeah, 1,600 root 3 over g. No. Alright. I wonder if we can do something with this. The g's cancel. Everybody cool with that? G cancels with g. A half of 1,600 is 800. So 800 over g. So I can't even draw a g right now. G cos squared alpha sine alpha. And what does it say again? What's the answer again? Yeah, 1,600 root 3 over g. Okay. The g's are gone. Yeah. I can get rid of that 800 using the 1,600. So I'm going to get sine alpha over cos squared alpha equals 2 root 3. Are we cool with that? Now, it's a quadratic equation, but the problem is there's two different variables. There's sine alpha and cos squared alpha. Anybody know what to do here? You want to sub out the cos squared alpha for what? Exactly, 1 minus sine squared alpha. And what that does is it reduces it down to one variable. So that's your trick So you're stuck there unless you remember this. There's no way out unless you think of that. Okay? So what I'm going to do is going to be sine alpha. You cross multiply the cos squared alpha, which is technically cross multiplying the 1 minus sine squared alpha. Okay, you multiply that out and you get sine alpha equals 2 root 3 minus 2 root 3 sine squared alpha. Move it all to one side. 2 root 3 sine squared alpha minus sine alpha and plus sine alpha minus 2 root 3 equals 0. Did anybody do that last night? Did you do a quadratic? You do the minus b formula, yeah? And when you do the minus b formula, what are your two answers? Anybody get this far? Yeah. This is one from me. Find the value of alpha. So, value or values? So one of them is going to be one of them is probably going to be like an obtuse angle where the slope will be going the wrong way. So you're obviously looking for an angle between 0 and. I'm hoping they're not both between 0 and 90. Then I'll have to do some furious thinking. Alright, we do the minus b formula, so. Alright, minus, so you put in minus b, so it's going to be minus 1 plus square root of b squared, so that's going to be 1 squared minus 4 times 2 root 3 for a minus 2 root 3 for c, and then all over 2 times a, which is going to be 2 over 2 root 3. 2 times 2 root 3. 3 over root 3 over 2, which is a great one. Sine alpha equals root 3 over 2. For argument's sake, I will check out the minus answer just to be certain. Negative, which means obtuse angle, which means don't worry about it. And sine inverse that, and then we get alpha equals 60 degrees. Good. Alrighty. Now, what we're going to do next is we have to figure out rebound velocity at Q given the coefficient of restitution. What's the magnitude of the rebound velocity? That's not that bad. Right, so here's what we're going to do. So can I, and we're going to do. Okay. Yep. Alright. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the time of flight, and we're going to put in 60 degrees. So 40 divided by cos 60. Didn't take there. Oh yeah. 80. So would everybody be happy the time of flight is 80 over g? 80 over g is the top. Now I'm going to put in my Vx and my Vy because I want to find the speed just before impact. So I'm going to go for Vx and Vy here. So Vx is gt sine alpha. But now that we know that alpha is 60, what can we say that is? Yeah, gt sin 60, okay? But it's going to be g by 80 over g sin 60 is root 3 over 2, isn't it? So it's 40 root just 40 root 3. Okay, and that's the Vx just before impact, and the Vy will be 20 minus g times 80 over g cos alpha, which is cos 60. This should be negative. Why does that need to be negative? Falling into the plane, so you'd imagine it should be negative. If it's not negative, something's gone wrong. So cancel. Half of 80 is 40. 20 take away 40 is minus 20. So, to paint a picture, you're currently going downwards into the plane, and now you're going to rebound at velocity of a half. You're going down at 20, which means you're going to come up at, what's half of 20? E value is a half, so we're going to come up at 10. We're going to cross a 40 root 3, which means we're going to continue to go across a 40 root 3. Now, it doesn't want the velocity, it wants the magnitude of the velocity. So what does that mean? It wants you to do Protagonists Theorem to find the actual speed, not the velocity. Oh wait, magnitude of the rebound velocity. That means it basically wants the speed. Okay. Now, if you weren't sure in an exam, here's what I'd do. I'd just say velocity is, if you really wanted to, you could say, what's it, 40 minus 40 root 3i plus 10j. That covers that if it's the correct answer. And I'd also say magnitude of the velocity is Protagonists Theorem. And Protagonists Theorem will be 10 squared plus 40 root 3 squared. Put that in a bracket just to make sure it comes out. 40 root 3 squared, what? Is it 70? And then square root 4,900 to get 70. And now you're covered for both answers, aren't you? You're not specifying which one is the answer, but they're both clearly written at the bottom, aren't they? So an examiner could go either or. Alright?